What is up guys, Andy Forest Dean Runner here, back with a serious video. Deja flippin' thou. As you can see by the title of this video, Gloucester City Marathon 2018 has been cancelled. Yes, it's been cancelled. We are destined not to have an A race this year. First Newport, now Gloucester. So what do I want to talk about? I just want to give you an update, guys. We had this notification through on Wednesday. I wanted to give myself a bit of time to think about this. I know Ian from Tyres and Trainers. If you don't know Ian by now, who was with me at the OMM Marathon, go check his blooming channel out. He's a legend and he did a fantastic video on this subject back on Thursday. And that video was based around looking forward, not dwelling, not looking at the circumstances and thinking, oh, what am I going to do? It's about just refocusing and getting on with it. And that's exactly what we have to do. But I did give myself time to think about what I wanted to say in this video and what I wanted to do next, because obviously I didn't want to ruin the Fountain 5 video. That was great fun. That was a fantastic race. It was our last race in May, and I didn't want to come onto that video and do my intro and say, hey guys, look, I'm really bummed out here. We've got this, but we're going to go and run a race. I wanted to separate that all off and give myself a bit more breathing space, a bit more time to think about what's going to happen and assess some options. So here's what happened. Gloucester Marathon has been cancelled this year. The race organisers emailed us on Wednesday and said, I think it was Wednesday, and said, they had, normally the marathon starts in the city centre in the docks area, which is beautiful, goes out and around and then finishes back in the docks. Submitting their planning applications in February got rejected because they couldn't not planning applications, road closure applications, because the council wouldn't shut the main A road that runs through it like they have done in previous years. For whatever reason, they didn't go into information. So very quickly they had to come up with a new route. They tried their hardest, they did come up with a new route. They got a lot of backlash for that new route because that route was 5 minutes outside of the city centre and didn't go anywhere near the docks. In fact, it didn't look like the most particularly fun route, I'll be honest, but fair play to them. They came up with a route, they worked their hardest, they were on a time scale, they submitted road closure details to the council, but a change in council policy meant that it wasn't going to be processed in time for August. So they have had to cancel the race. Now, there's been a lot of social media backlash on that. If you search Gloucester City Marathon, you can go and find that out on Facebook. There's an event, there's a page. They've got lots of comments, lots going on, namely because they're not offering refunds. That is the main crux of the problem. What they have said is they're going to be putting on a free event in the Forest of Dean marathon for the people that have entered if they still want to do it, and I gather they're trying to get that UKA licence, which means it would count for a London qualifier. Apparently the course that they are looking to try and run has been certified for that UKA sort of certification then back in 2013, so they just want to get reapproval. They're waiting to hear on that, but we all get free entries into next year's Gloucester Marathon, which being honest, I don't want that. That wasn't the purpose of this year. The purpose of this year was to try and get that qualified to next year, but I see what they've tried to do. So anyway, there's been a lot of social media backlash. We're not going to go into that. That's not what this video is about. That is what happened with the event, which means we now need to regroup, rethink and restructure some training. The options we've been weighing up. We've been weighing up a lot of options. I say we because my wife, who is a non-runner, has been super supportive, and obviously I run a lot. She gets quite annoyed at that sometimes, bless her, but she puts up with a lot, and she saw the frustration on my face. Now let's get some perspective here, guys. This is very much a first world problem, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself in the slightest. I'm merely sharing my frustrations. There are way bigger things in life to be worrying about than cancelled races. What I would like is for just one A race to train and run. But that aside, the options are waiting to see if this 4-loop 10k course in the forest gets UKA certified, which, if I'm honest with you, I don't want to do. I run these trails all the time. I love the forest. I'm an advocate for the forest. I want to get people down to the forest and running in the forest. But when you race in the forest and train in it so much, it is nice to go out and explore. We all feel that about our own areas. And to do a 4-loop marathon is not my idea of fun. However, if they do get the certification, it might sway my decision. I'm not sure. The second option that I'm currently considering is, obviously we've got Gloucester 10k on the 8th of July still, so that's 6 weeks away, I think, roughly. And then Severn Bridge Half Marathon, the Severn Bridge Half Marathon, which is a race that I have not run for 2 or 3 years now, and I love it, and I haven't been able to run it for the last 2 or 3 years, and I wasn't due to run it this year, but my wife, being as awesome as she is, we are trying to rejig things. She's working hard to rejig our arrangements that we had so that I can run it, which is just blowing my mind a little bit, and I'm extremely appreciative of that. And what that means is I will need to sit back down with Greg from the High Altitude Training Institute camp, because again, massive shout out to Greg. He's been phenomenal supporting. I've talked to him about the situation. He said, don't worry mate, we'll sort it out, which is awesome. So that's the other option, and if I'm honest with you, that is a more fanciable option. I'd rather that. I get to go back to a race that I love doing. It's not a PB race. It is not flat in the slightest, but it is road. We do get to run on the Severn Bridge, which is awesome. It's about 2,500 runners. It's a decent sized race. I really, really enjoy it. And I do have a score to settle with it because I've never run well there. And I'd be quite like to get another decent batch of half marathon training under my belt, as much as I'd actually rather prefer to finish the marathon training, and I do prefer marathon. You know, it would be nice to have a half marathon training block that we complete and race at the end. So yeah, those are the two options. I'm also still scurrying around looking for other marathons. I have even been given permission to look for races a bit further afield, up north if needs be, down south. My wife said if we can get a Travelodge for the weekend, let's do it. You know, she knows how much I want to do London next year. She knows how much I want that qualifier, bless her. So I am scouting out other races, but if I can't find anything, then I think the preferable option will be the Severn Bridge Half Marathon, and elongating this plan a little bit. That will give us a bit more time to train. The only downside with that, guys, is it's at the end of the summer holidays. I will be going away in the summer holidays at some point, and I will have to have a week off, which is really not a big deal for a lot of people, but as I'm such a perfectionist and I like to finish a plan and do a plan in its entirety, it really bugs me. However, it's really not a big deal. So what would you do? Seriously, I'm asking you, what would you do? What would you do if you were in my situation? Would you wait for this UK certification and run 4 loops to try and get that qualifier, or would you scrap it? Would you scrap it and go for the half marathon? I'm going to take my time with this decision, but I would appreciate any comments, any feedback on anything. Just whatever. If you want to comment on the situation, then please do. Any feedback is gratefully received. I do appreciate you hearing me waffle. It has been nearly 8 minutes now. It's going to be over 8 minutes. I won't take up any more of your time, but I wanted to share with you what's going on, because obviously next week there won't be any week 3 of the sub 3 hour marathon training series. That unfortunately is going to have to come to an end, but I will be going out hard next week, still training hard, still hitting that 40 miles minimum that I want, and seeing what we can do. So anyway, there we go. Serious video over. If you enjoy it, if you've got comments, guys, please leave them below. Let me know what you think I should do. Do give this video a like, and drop me a message on any social media platform if you want to talk about anything or share your frustrations or whatever it is. Just get in touch. That would be awesome, guys. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, as always. Subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. Like, share, subscribe, the whole shebang. I hope you enjoyed the Fountain 5 video. I'm sorry for the ramblings at the end of that. Me and James were just... it was hilarious. Anyway, I'll see you next time.